Welcome to Smell of Page. The Treasure Box, written by Sarojini Sinha. Chapter 16. Govind still could not stomach the idea of foreigners ruling the country, but he had seen enough of horrors of war and was glad that peace had returned to the land. The fight for independence had to go on, but Govind wished someone somehow could find a way of winning freedom without bloodshed. Now he had to turn his mind to family affairs. The house was in a bad state of disrepair, and they had no money. His father had left home nearly 8 months ago and not yet returned, while others who had gone to take part in the freedom fight were quietly trickling back to the capital. Kuber Chand, the shopkeeper, had returned from the richer than ever. He offered Govind a job, which he turned down with contempt. For daily needs, Rukmini was selling her jewels or pawning them bit by bit. From Meerut, Govind's brother-in-law, Kedarnath, sent 5 mohurs through a trusted servant. He was grateful for the help, but was not quite happy about it, for Kedarnath, like Kuber Chand, had prospered by selling goods to the foreigners. Govind thought of his father's profession. He had helped Ayodhya Prasad in grinding and mixing medicines and ointments. He had learned enough from him and knew he could treat ailments which were not too complicated. So when people came asking for their father, he did not turn them away, but treated them as best as he could. Many of his patients were cured and they recommended him to others. This way, Govind earned a little money and managed to make ends meet, but he knew he could not earn much till he was a properly trained Vaidya. So he approached the famous Gogul Das, who was his father's guru. The old Gogul Das accepted Govind as an apprentice and even agreed to pay him a small sum of money for the work he did. Govind worked hard for Gogul Das during the day and helped Jagannath and Bola in the evening to repair the broken doors and windows of the house. By night he was quite exhausted. Winter passed and it was summer again. Ayodhya Prasad had still not returned, nor was there any news from him. They were very worried but consoled themselves with the thought that since the struggle for freedom was still going on in Jhansi, he might be there. So there was great excitement one evening when a man came with a letter from Ayodhya Prasad. It had a Jhansi address, and after the usual greetings and a good wishes, it said, "After Kampu fell to the British, I came to Jhansi. 'Twill be a long and a tough fight, and I have a feeling that I'll now return home. So Govind, my beloved son, I want you to take care of your younger brothers and sisters. See that your brothers grow to be a brave and patriotic. Arrange the marriages of your sisters to suitable boys so that they are happy. Take particular care of your mother. She is a noble soul. I'm sorry I haven't provided enough for the family. Before leaving for Aligarh, I was sure that war was about to break out, so I tried to do whatever I could for the family's future. I had saved 500 mohurs and I have hidden these in the little treasure box. Use the money wisely. Farewell, my son. May God take care of your mother. You and others, my blessings. Your father, Ayodhya Prasad." Govind folded the letter and asked the man who had brought it, "Sir, may I know who you are and where my father is at present?" "My name's Keshadev," replied the stranger. Avoiding Govind's eye, Then he blurted out, "Your father died fighting the Angries. He was with the force of the Rani of Jhansi." The news plunged the family into grief. Rukmini and the girls began sobbing. The neighbors came in to console and condole. The death ceremonies were held in a fitting manner. Govind could not spend much money. The neighbors, who were themselves hard up, understood. But Keshadev was not too happy. "Excuse me for interfering, Govind," he said. "Your father was my friend, and I had great regard for him. I feel you should have performed your father's last rites in a better way than you did." Though the man claimed to be his father's close friend and confidant, Govind did not like him, nor did he trust him. There was something cunning and crafty about his behavior. "We haven't the money, Keshav-Devji," he told him. "Our house was looted by soldiers, and we lost everything. Why don't you take the mohurs from the treasure box?" He countered. Govind was extremely puzzled. He alone had read the letter, though he had told everyone in the family what his father had written. He had not mentioned the mohurs and the treasure box. How did Keshadev know of them? He wondered. "You decided to take the bull by the horns. How do you know of the mohurs?" Keshadev realized he had been caught on the wrong foot. Trying to make the best of a bad job, he shuddered and stammered. "Your father trusted me. He told me he had hidden 100 mohurs in the treasure box for the family's use." Govind was not to be taken in so easily. "But you clever man," he said to himself. "He didn't trust you enough to tell you where the treasure box was." Aloud he said, "The treasure box too was looted." His little brother, 6-year-old Gopal, was quick to correct him. "Bhaiya, the treasure box couldn't have been." Govind caught up so suddenly that he almost knocked the child down, and he started crying. Govind picked up him and took him inside. "Gopal," he admonished, "you must never tell anyone where the treasure box is. It's a family secret." Gopal nodded, sobbing. But Govind knew he was too young to keep a secret. If Keshadev tried, he could get the information from Gopal or Munna, who was even younger, being only 4 years old. As a precaution, Govind told everyone to keep the location of the treasure box a secret. He also asked Jagannath and Bola to keep a watch on Keshadev's movements. How Govind wished Keshadev would leave. They could then take the mohurs out. They were really hard up, and the money would come in handy. Nevertheless, they all treated Keshadev cordially and looked after him as well as they could. The man, on his part, tried to be friendly with everyone. He played with the children, talked to them, and told them interesting stories. He did not seem to have anything else to do. One day, Govind fell unwell and returned earlier than usual from Goguldas' place. He found Keshadev in the room upstairs, tapping the walls with a small hammer. Gopal and Munna stood by, watching him with amusement. "What are you doing, Keshadev-ji?" Govind asked rather curtly. Though taken aback, Keshadev was cool enough to reply, "I'm looking for the treasure box." The children giggled. "Shall I tell him, Govind Bhaiya? Shall I tell him?" asked Munna, wanting to be helpful. With a warning look at Munna, Govind told Keshadev, "Don't bother about the treasure box and the mohurs. They have gone. There is no point worrying about them. Your father was a great friend of mine." Keshadev explained, "My only desire is to be of help to you."